Assalamu alaikum students. This is class C2, week number 3, and the subject is accounting. The topic is depreciation. Students, we had started this topic last week and we are going to continue the same topic. The subtopic is depreciation. And the method which we are going to discuss is revaluation method. The objectives of my lesson are overview of the previous lesson, through reinforcement of basis of depreciation and through differentiation between straight line method and diminishing balance method. Today's topic is to describe revaluation method and to calculate annual depreciation by using revaluation method. In the end, we will see the suitability of different depreciation methods according to different scenarios. Resources which I have used for this lesson are taken from Frankfurt book, latest edition, chapter 26. Multiple choice questions are taken from Noman Malik book, and there are educational videos also. I had given the link at the end of the lesson. Okay, first of all, recall previous lesson. Depreciation may be defined as the permanent and continuous decrease in the quality or the value of an asset. So depreciation is fall in the value of the fixed asset except land. Dear students, land is exceptional because land does not depreciate, rather land appreciates. But according to prudence concept, we do not record appreciation in accounting system. So land will be ignored when we'll talk about the depreciation. Depreciation is charged as an expense in the profit and loss account in order to spread the cost of a fixed asset over the asset's useful life. And in the end, depreciation is charged on a continuous basis. Once the depreciation is charged, it must be charged on the regular basis in the succeeding period also. It means it has permanent nature. Even if the market value increases, we will record depreciation in that year also. We will not record market increase in market value, rather we will record depreciation. Causes of depreciation. The very first cause is wear and tear. When we talk about the tangible assets, as non-current assets will gradually break down over a certain usage period, as parts wear out and need to be replaced, eventually the asset can no longer be repaired and must be disposed of. This cause is most common for production equipment, which typically has a manufacturer's recommended lifespan that is based on a certain number of units produced. Other assets such as buildings can be repaired and upgraded for a longer period of time, but students, every asset will depreciate. Inefficiency or obsolescence, some equipment will be considered obsolete by more efficient equipment, which reduces the suitability or the usability of the original equipment. It means even that original equipment is working well, but that will be depreciated. Usage rights. Now we'll talk about amortization. A fixed asset may actually be a right to use something such as software or database for a certain period of time. If so, its lifespan terminates when the usage right expire. So depreciation, that is called amortization, must be completed by the end of the usage period. When we talk about the natural resources, if an asset is natural resource, such as an oil reservoir, the depletion of the natural resources causes depreciation. Over here it is called depletion rather than depreciation. The pace of depletion may change if a company subsequently alters its estimate of remaining reserves. So look at the summary of this page. We had talked about tangible assets, then we talked about obsolescence, amortization and depletion. Now see the calculation of different methods. First method was straight line method. A fixed or equal amount is to be charged as depreciation every year during the lifetime of the asset. The amount of depreciation remains equal from year to year. The expected lifetime of the asset is calculated and the cost of the asset is spread over its lifetime. The formula will be original cost divided by number of years used. If the scrap value is given, then it should be subtracted from cost. And dear students, I'm sure you know what is scrap value, the value which is left at the end of the life of the asset. All right. Reducing balance method. The value of the asset goes on diminishing every year. The amount of depreciation charged every year also goes on declining. Every year, a fixed percentage of the net book value of the asset is reduced. For example, 20% depreciation is charged. If the asset has a value of 10,000, the depreciation the first year will be 20% of 10,000. Obviously, that will be on cost. Okay, the net book value will be 6,000 now. Next year, 20% of 6,000 will be taken and the answer will be 1,200. Now the book value will be left after second year is 4,800. So in reducing balance method, the percentage will be taken on net book value. Come to the main point, that is revaluation method. This method is usually used to calculate depreciation assets where there are numerous small identifiable assets. I had underlined identifiable because this is very important right now, because these assets are of low value but nevertheless of lasting value, such as loose tools or livestock. Under this method, the asset is valued at the end of each financial period, and this revalued amount is compared with the value in the beginning of the period. The reduction in value will be recorded as depreciation. Look at the example, it will be more clear. Under this method, the asset is valued at the end of each financial year, and this revalued amount is compared with the value in the beginning of that period. The reduction in the value is recorded as depreciation for the first year. For every year, the formula will remain same. The formula is depreciation equal to value of the asset at the year start minus value of asset at the year end. Example. A trader provides the above information: how much is charged to the income statement for the depreciation for the year ended 31st December. Opening value in 2019 is 1,100, closing value is 1,000. Look at the solution. Write down the statement first. Value of the asset at the beginning minus value of the asset at year end. That is 1,100 minus 1,000 equal to 100. Students, never skip any step in accounting, otherwise you will lose your marks in paper. Okay. Next. Revaluation method number 2. When there are new purchases or disposal of assets during the year, then the annual depreciation under revaluation method will be calculated by using the following formula. Depreciation equal to value of asset at the beginning plus new assets purchased minus disposals at book value minus value of asset at the end. Look at the example now. The value of loose tools at the beginning of the year was 10,000. During the year, business purchased loose tools worth 8,000. Loose tools were valued at 14,000 at the end of the year. Look at the solution, students. Depreciation equal to value of asset at start plus new assets purchased minus value of asset at year end. 10,000 plus 8,000 minus 14,000, depreciation is 4,000. I think it is very clear to you how to solve that. I have taken this example deliberately from your book. Look at the example. A business has a lot of steel containers and these are not sold but are used by the business. Look at the situation. Opening balance of containers was 3,500. Purchases during the year was 1,300. Closing value was 3,800. Now calculations. Opening balance 3,500 plus purchases 1,300, total is 4,800. Less closing value, that is 3,800. Look at the answer. Depreciation is 1,000. I think the revaluation method is very clear to you. It is simple as compared to the previous two methods. Now, very important part of the lesson, choice of a method. Students, none of depreciation method is categorically best or worst, as each method has its own pros and cons. The choice of a suitable method depends upon several factors, out of which nature of asset is more important. See, straight line method is more suitable for those assets which provide equal benefit to the business for each year of their useful lives, like properties, buildings, etc. On contrary, reducing balance method is more appropriate for those assets which operate faster when they are new, like machinery, vehicles, transport. And in the end, revaluation method is used only for inexpensive items. Summary. What we did today, students, we did revaluation method. We had different calculations based upon different situations. And in the end, we had seen the suitability of different methods according to the situation. Moving on, we'll talk about written assignment. Students, read thoroughly the content from the book and highlight important terms and definitions. Then practice questions from 3 to 6. And these are totally based upon these 3 methods which we had discussed in 2 sessions. Worksheet is also given to you for practice, and you are going to solve the worksheet at weekend, but first solve these questions which are in the book. I had given you resources also. Link is given to you. Just click on the link and you will have YouTube links and you will have videos over there for better understanding. I had given my email ID also, accountingmania786@gmail.com. In case of any query, you may email me. So students, keep on doing accounting. It is easy. It is interesting. Khuda Hafiz.